It's time to take a camera and talk about something different in Korea while watching a video taken from various parts of the country and from all over the world, thanks to our listeners, with my Korean friend Rachel with me. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Peter. Thank you for having me again.
Again, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
We like having you for these little 2-week stints,
yeah.
I think.
It happens.
Last time it happened as well. And next week, I think Alex, as long as he's all right and he's healthy, he'll be back on board, right?
Hopefully. We all miss you, Alex.
We do. We miss you greatly, but our listeners have been really happy to have you on board.
Oh, thank you.
The reaction last week was really good. I think it helped because the theme was ice cream.
Ice cream.
And as we said last week, everyone loves ice cream, right?
Yes.
You have been doing lots of YouTube recently, Rachel. Any interesting videos on your channel that you'd recommend our listeners to watch if they're not already subscribed?
Ooh.
What have you done recently?
Actually, I recently made a video dedicated to my fans, viewers.
Oh, wow.
I reached to 100,000
100,000
I can't even
subscribers.
100,000 subscribers.
Okay.
Can you believe that?
Can you get close to the microphone?
Ooh,
because we want our listeners to hear your beautiful voice as much as possible.
Aww,
Leon from
thank
Singapore
you.
said, yes, we do love you, Rachel.
Wow,
See?
thank you so much.
So what did you do for that kind of fan dedication video?
I went back to my old videos and then found comments.
Oh,
And then I reacted to those.
oh, that's nice, isn't
because
it?
those comments were the ones that made me keep going.
Really? Did you
Yeah.
get a lot of positive comments at the beginning then?
Yeah, just a little like encouragement made it a long way.
Oh, definitely. I think like one bit of praise can really give you the motivation to keep going.
Especially when you're starting, when you have like a little bit of doubt in yourself as well.
Absolutely.
Those are the ones that believed in me first, even before I knew it.
Even before you believed in yourself.
Yeah.
Can we cry now?
Thank you.
Congratulations, though, on getting to 100,000
thank you so much.
subscribers. That's such a big milestone, especially here in
know.
Korea.
I can't even believe it until now.
Yeah, one of my friends who was one of apparently the first 10 YouTubers in Korea. I'm sure you know him. He's a friend of Arirang, Son Hyun-woo,
Oh, yeah.
who does talk to me in Korean. He said, you know, to be a proper YouTuber, you know, like a real bona fide, you can say it anywhere.
Yeah?
You got to get 100,000 subscribers. You know, that's the target. He wasn't disrespecting people with less subscribers, but he was like, then you can kind of have the mantle. That's my title. I'm a
I see.
YouTuber, that kind of thing. And so that's my aim. I have started YouTube, Rachel, without any fanfare because I haven't even sorted out my channel yet. It's just mostly the listeners of #DailyK. They subscribe to me because I chat with them on YouTube during the show.
Right.
And so I haven't got the title or anything. I just do a few live mukbangs and stuff like this.
Peter's lifestyle.
I've only got like, compared to 100,000, it sounds terrible. I think about 50 or 60 subscribers. But each time it goes up by one, I get really happy.
Yeah, right?
Like, yay!
Accomplishment, and
Yeah.
also it's your life memory.
Absolutely. And you're right. Even the few comments that I do get there,
Yeah.
they're really motivational.
Right.
I think you should always remember that. Big YouTubers with like millions of subscribers out there, don't forget your roots, right?
Right.
One day you were like me with just 50 subscribers, okay?
Exactly.
Last week's theme, ice cream, very light and airy and fun and sugary. This week may be a complete 180 turn because it's Memorial Day in Korea, right?
Oh, yes, it is a very special day in Korea.
How do you usually celebrate it in Korea, like just general Koreans and at school and things like that? Is there anything special or is it just a day off?
Well, in my case, actually, my grandfather's brother has died in the war.
My goodness, the Korean War?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So every year we went to the Korean War Memorial Cemetery place.
Oh, the one near Isu
Yeah,
and Dongjak
exactly.
Bridge.
Yeah.
Really? To like pay your respects and everything.
Yeah, at 10 a.m. The siren goes off and then we bow. I mean, we just keep silence.
Okay.
And then we pray for the lost souls.
Oh, wow. And isn't that a big thing then at that cemetery? There must be
It is,
hundreds
it is.
of people, or if not thousands, who go.
I mean, it makes me so sad. I mean, when I was younger, I didn't realize it, but there are so many gravestones.
Yeah.
Once I realized, it represents each of people that had died.
Yeah.
And that makes me so sad.
That's a vast area as well,
And
that
I got
national
lost
cemetery.
many times in the park in that cemetery.
Yeah.
That means like it's that big to get lost.
Yeah, I know that some people don't like going to cemeteries, but you can go there just as a regular person, right? You can walk around and stuff and just look around.
I think anyone can go.
Yeah. And I've been there, even like when we have the cherry blossoms or certain flowers blossoming, that place is really tranquil and peaceful because it's a cemetery. So it's a bit off the beaten path, and it may be a bit odd on your itinerary, but I would recommend it if you're in the area. Go and take a look around, and like Rachel said, it's really meaningful to see all the people who lost their lives. So we've asked our listeners to send in like war memorials in your country or historical monuments or something like that. So where have we gone to mainly today for your videos, Rachel?
This week, me and my special guest went to War Memorial Museum of Korea.
Is that the one in Yongsan?
Yeah, it is.
I love that museum.
Very easy to find as well.
Yeah, and very good for kids as well. They have like a separate kids bit down there.
Right.
And they have lots of outdoor areas as well to run around if the weather's nice and whatnot. So we're going to play Rachel's video, the first one. So what is this showing us?
It is how to find the museum.
How to find the museum. Okie dokie. Let's press play and take a look.
Let's go! Today we are going to Korean War Museum. And I have a very special guest. Guess what?
Who is it?
It's me.
This is Samgakji Station. Hi, Alex.
Samgakji Station.
Yeah.
Number 12, it says
It's nicely decorated in there.
Korea
It is.
The War Memorial of
Probably
Korea
for the museum.
main
Yeah,
gate.
I'm guessing so. That's the main attraction there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we are here.
Lots of stairs at subway stations, but there will be an elevator if you need it, right?
Right
So
over
right
there.
now, me and Alex are walking toward the main gate.
Straight out of exit 12. No turns.
No turns.
It was a pleasant walk too.
This is a
Looks
very
like a nice
easy
day.
walk.
Yeah.
They have a museum wedding hall?
They
Museum
do?
wedding hall.
Museum wedding hall.
Whoa, people get married at the museum. Pretty cool.
Okay, now we are here at the main gate.
Oh, it looks nice.
Yeah.
Rural. Lots of nature.
The garden is pretty here. Flowers. They
One of the
really-
nice parts is they really take care of the outside of this museum.
Exactly.
We've been actually inside the premises for a while now, and I've noticed there are no places that you have to actually buy a ticket.
Right,
You
there's
just go
no
in.
admission
Is it free?
fee.
Yeah.
It's for free
whole
for
thing?
Go
everyone.
inside
The
too?
whole thing.
Yeah, I
Really?
think so.
That's amazing.
They also
Yeah.
have free guided
Just
tours in
if
multiple
you make up
languages.
your mind, you can just go.
I knew the outside was free. I've been there before as well, so I should remember that it was free. But I totally didn't. Yeah, you're right. You don't have to
Inside too.
pay the ticket price at all, do
No,
you?
not at all. And there
That's
are
pretty
guided
cool.
tours too in every language.
Oh, really?
Multiple languages.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't
Yeah.
it? Have a little guided tour if you like. That is the War Memorial Part 1. Rachel showing us how she got there and things like this. We're going to see one now from Siska in Indonesia. Let me just find the audio and the video file. Siska, where are you? There you are at the top.
There you are.
And we got lots of explanation for this video as well. Thank you for that, Siska. We do appreciate it. We're just going to wait for it to load up now. And Siska says, it's Memorial Day, and sorry for not matching my voice on my video. I didn't have time to re-edit it. It's all right, Siska. We appreciate any image files, videos from our listeners as well. And you say, I'm just adding some details to the video here, just in case you guys didn't get what I say in the video. This is the statue of Jakarta, and it's one of the historical landmarks here in the city. The two figures statues symbolize the openness of the Indonesian nation to visitors of the Asian Games, number 4 in 1962. So we're going to take a
Hi
look
guys,
here.
today I want to introduce you to some historical monument and flag of Indonesia. First is Welcome Statue. It is one of the historical landmark of Jakarta. The two figure statue symbolize the openness of the Indonesian nation to the visitor of Asian Games the 4th on 1962. Tugu Proklamasi is the monument of proclamator heroes, the first president of Indonesia Sukarno and the vice president Muhammad
should be
Hatta.
a history
On the
tour
background
guide,
of the
Siska,
statues
I
were
feel.
monolithic sculptures number
Very
17,
structured.
with the highest being 8 meters with 45 protrusion on the
If
Desket
you're not
waterfalls,
reading this, I'm
symbolizing the
thoroughly
Indonesian
impressed.
Independence Day on 17 August 1945. Monument Nasional is the 132-meter tower in Medan Merdeka Square, Jakarta, symbolizing the fight for Indonesia.
132
It is
meters.
the national monument of the Republic of Indonesia, built to
massive.
commemorate the struggle for
I'm
Indonesian
learning so
independence.
much right now.
Construction began in 1961 and was opened to the public in 1975. The tower is topped by the flame, covered with gold foil. The flag of Indonesia is the simple bicolor with 2 equal horizontal bands, red on the
It
top
looks
and white
lovely,
on the bottom.
Siska.
The official name is Sangsaka Merah Putih, meaning the lofty red and white. The red is symbolized of courage and white is the symbol of purity.
Oh, courage and purity.
Traditionally, it is the ceremonial colors, mixing the red color from palm sugar and white from rice. Both are the major component of
Red
daily
and
Indonesian
white.
cuisine.
Nice.
That's all for today, guys. Happy Memorial Day!
Happy Memorial Day to you too.
I feel like I don't need to go to Indonesia now.
Oh, I learned so
I've
much.
had my lesson. That's more than enough, Siska. Thank you so much for your video. I guess every country has their own kind of war memorials because unfortunately, war seems to be a bit of a global thing.
Yeah, it happens.
Everyone likes to fight. Why do
Oh,
we
no.
fight? Do you like fighting, Rachel?
No, let's not fight.
Let's have love, not
Peace.
war, right? We've got something from Yana now in Malaysia, and this says it's some photos from my field trip with students 2 years ago to the National Monument located in Kuala Lumpur. That kind of looks like the statue they got at the front of the War Memorial at Yongsan.
Oh, yeah, it really does.
Where the soldiers are like fighting one
Right.
another, yeah?
Villagers, starting from villagers, and then in the end, soldiers.
Yeah, there are soldiers like laid on top of each other, fallen soldiers there, as well as soldiers with guns conquering the foreground. And you've got nice fountains as well in front of that statue. That looks amazing. It says that's a panoramic view, this next photo in the third instance. Oh wow, we can see the whole length and breadth 360 view of the museum. It looks kind of like Yongsan in that the outdoors looks nice as
very
well.
spacious and give you the space to think, to walk around.
And it shows the Malaysian flag, which kind of looks a little bit like the US in that it's got the white and red stripes and then the little blue square corner,
it really
doesn't
does.
it?
Yeah.
You say our Independence Day is on August 31st, which is a public holiday, and maybe I'll explain about our flag on that day. Okay, Yana, you'll save it for later on. Thank you very much. Indonesia, remember, has the red and white, red showing courage, white purity coming from rice. That's nice. I wonder why. Why are so many flags got red, white and blue? Like Korea has it as well.
That's
the
true.
UK, the
Yeah.
US, Malaysia.
Let's admit it, those are cool colors.
They are the
Captain
coolest.
America too.
What's your favourite colour?
Blue?
Mine's orange. Why are there no orange flags? There must be one or two somewhere, right?
Lucky you.
The table is
The
orange
table
where
is
we are right
orange.
now. I guess that's better than nothing. We're going to play some Epic High now. Day of Peace, 평화의 날. We're back for part 2 of the show today. It is K-Patch with Rachel filling in again for Alex.
Ooh.
You still having fun?
Yeah, it's
Promise?
a lot of fun.
You're not itching to get out of the studio?
No, I could stay here.
It's not too
for a long,
bright
long
in
time.
here. The
I mean,
lights
I
are
love
very
lightings.
bright. Really?
Yeah. Do I look pretty?
You look amazing with
Thank
that
you.
little beard thing that you're doing as well, but it
I gotta
sparkles
stop this.
with the fingers. No, it is sparkles. I'm just weird. It's my fault. Today's theme, and for anyone who's tuning into K-Patch for the first time, we play you these videos through the video live stream when it's available. If not, you can check out all our videos and our listener ones on our Instagram and Facebook accounts, Arirang Daily K, all one word. They're centered around a topic each week, and Rachel is a wonderful YouTuber here in Korea. Subscribe to Rachel Kim. And also, you can see the videos today related to the War Memorial here in Korea. That's what we're talking about. And so our first video was going to Yongsan. The station itself is Samgakji, right? Which is where the museum is located. And we finished off with you and Alex, your special guest for the day.
Right.
I hope you bought him a coffee or something to say thank you.
Yeah, he was an amazing cameraman for the
Yes.
day.
And we learnt that it was free to go in here, right?
Right.
All the grounds are free outside as well. So we're now going to check out Rachel's second video. I see it starts off with some views of the map of the place here.
Exactly. Okay, let's go.
Let's keep circling around. Do they do the same thing in Korea like they do in the States, where on a sad day or on a day of mourning or after a national tragedy, they lower the flag.
Yeah, we do exactly the same thing.
Oh,
More
really?
than half.
Lowering the
The
flag?
wind.
Ah.
Now
Half
the
staff.
flag is held up like a normal state.
It is fully up because we're filming this not
On the
on
actual day.
June 6th.
Ah, I see.
And
Maybe
there
on
is a
June 6th it's
brother's
lowered,
statue.
right?
Right.
I've never seen this.
They were pointing guns at each other, and as soon as they recognized each other, they just dropped the gun and then hugged and then cried.
Oh my
That's
god.
the
And you
theme
can
of
actually-
Taeguki, that
Yeah,
film, isn't
exactly.
You
The
know
statue
what?
of brothers.
it? Okay.
There's
was
a
a
teacher
class.
in there doing her stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. There's
So
lots
we
of
are
school
looking
kids
at-
that go
Yeah,
to this
yeah.
museum
And
as
it's
well,
really
right?
cool because at the back of it you see just regular people, the villagers.
At the back of the
There's
statue as
apartments.
well,
Mhm.
with
Oh,
soldiers
looks
and
like you
villagers.
can go in and see the cockpit of one of these big
It was
fighters. This is a
airplane,
bomber, I
bomber.
think.
You get to go inside the cockpit.
I mean, we
Oh, we
weren't
can't go
able to.
inside.
Oh, you're not
Do
allowed
you
to
think
open
this
it.
is the real size
Absolutely.
replica?
That's probably the real thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of the
Oh,
vehicles
God. Oh, there
there
is
are
a
real
person in there.
vehicles,
That was
no
really
longer
shocking
used.
to me.
Oh my god, I'm scared. Imagine this thing dropping bomb.
I mean, I would
And
be
here
so
we
scared.
see-
Yeah,
bunch
it would have been
of
terrifying living through the
next to
war,
each
right?
other.
You wanna check out?
Seeing all the tanks and planes in the grounds is
Right.
amazing, isn't it? I think the outside is even
Giant
better than the
Oh, I
inside.
agree with you, totally.
There is this huge ship right in front of the
There was a ship,
museum,
too.
and we're
You
gonna
have
get on
ships,
board.
tanks, and planes.
It's
Yeah.
scary to think
Bombers.
that people
Hopefully none of
actually
them work
designed an
anymore.
entire ship
If you
to
wanted to
destroy
steal them,
things.
if you're an evil
This ship
genius.
is filled with weapons, missiles, guns.
I mean, there are so many equipments that were used.
Yeah, I think you're right. When you go there, and if you think about exactly what these are designed for, like not just look at them, because they kind of look cool if you just look at them like in a light way, but if you think about what they're designed to do, kill people and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's a bit sad. It's
If
really
you go
sad.
to a Marvel museum, for example,
Uh-huh.
you'd be so thrilled because oh
Sure.
my god, we fought
The
for
superheroes.
the peace and the heroes, and then
Yeah.
this one it was for real.
Yeah, for absolute real. And the even worse thing about this is it's really centered on the Korean War, isn't it? And so that's the tragedy of brothers, literal brothers in some cases, fighting against one another,
I
right?
cannot even imagine how sad
Yeah.
the moment would be.
And still, many families were never reunited after
Right.
the two Koreas were split. So that's why it's still very painful in Korea's history. And it means a lot to us, all this history behind everything as well. We're going to play a video now from Amy J in the States as well. Let me just get it lined up here.
Hi, Amy.
Thank you for your video as well. This is at a Veterans Park I see here. Thanks to the American Legion for a great Memorial Day program. Oh yeah, your Memorial Day was just a couple of Mondays ago, I believe.
This is
Here
our
goes.
veteran park down by my house. They
Lovely.
donated this land between these two roads and they turned it into a memorial park. And we have these monuments.
Just in between two
and
roads.
these
You've got
flags,
like
which
a
are solar
cemetery.
powered,
Yeah.
Wow. With all these monuments.
names that people donated. This is in the middle. They do retirement of flags. The band plays
Oh, the
during
band plays too.
holidays for veterans, Memorial Day, stuff like that.
Yeah, in the UK as well, having like the bands play on Memorial Remembrance Day is a big thing for people to go
This
and
is going
watch
to the
on
flags,
TV
the
as
circle
well.
of flags,
Oh, I see.
a ring of flags, I think it was called, and it has all the flags from all the militaries.
That maybe fought in the wars gone by. I wonder if there
The
are
names
Civil
on the
War
bricks of
monuments in
people
the
who
US as
donated.
well. Because
What
that's
about
During the
painful.
war.
DC?
This is our
Yeah,
hero
maybe,
wall
right?
of
Yeah,
war,
I
where
assume.
people passed away during different wars.
They've got that at Yongsan as well, all the names of
There's,
people who died in the
statues
Yeah.
Second World
of
War and stuff like
soldiers.
that.
That's in the
haven't they?
third video.
This is
Oh
from the
wow,
Korean
we're going to see
War.
that.
They
That
all
is
passed
really
away in.
kind of heart-wrenching.
Painful.
Yeah.
That's my road to my job.
To your job? Is that along the route as well?
This is the Fountain of Freedom.
The Fountain of Freedom.
This is the long walk back.
Wow, that
It's a
looks like a lovely
pretty
path,
road.
doesn't it? Yeah. Thank you so much for that video, Amy. I guess wherever you are, if you think back to your ancestors being involved in these, or even actual relatives in the wars, you can be quite emotional watching them, right? We're going to check out another one from Raul in Argentina. And Argentina and the UK, I don't know if you know about the history there, but the UK, we had our British Empire and everything. We spanned like a quarter of the world's mass and I think a quarter of the world's population. But we've given up most of our territories, you know,
Okay.
like America, for example, and Hong Kong and things like this. But down in Argentina, just off the coast there's the Falkland Islands. I don't know if Koreans are too aware about that history. So it's really far from the UK, but it's still our territory. And we had a war down there with Argentina.
Whoa.
So it's a bit sensitive. I wonder if any of this from Raul is going to be showing us some memorials from that, because that's a very painful past for Argentina and for the UK as well. It's when we play football against Argentina, it's always really emotional. Yeah, for both countries.
Be.
Yeah, the same with Korea and Japan, right? Yeah. Absolutely. Let's take a look at this.
Adopted in 1816, the Argentine flag was designed a few years before by General Manuel Belgrano, based on the white and the blue rosette of the opponent of the Spanish colonial regime.
Oh, opposing the Spanish colonial
regime.
regime.
The flag is a symbol of a new era of freedom.
That's what the sun means in the middle of the flag.
May 25th, 1910, date of the outbreak of the War of National Liberation that was to lead to the country independence.
Good history lesson, Raul. Your flag is beautiful as well, Argentina, with a baby blue kind of colour.
Plaza de Mayo in Buenos Aires, Monumento a la Bandera en Rosario, Casita de Tucumán on Tucumán, Cerro La Gloria on Mendoza.
I love the Spanish language, Raul. I'm just getting lost in your pronunciation.
Jujuy City.
What are they,
The
Raul?
last one is the father of independence of Argentina, General Don José de San Martín.
Argentina.
The father of independence. He kind of looks like an almost Abraham Lincoln, figure with a lot of gravitas and stuff like that. Raul, thank you so much for that video. And apologies for Britain taking over territories all across the world. We shouldn't have done that. We're a bit greedy. Luckily, we never got to Korea, though.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise,
it's
we'd
a
be
very
having...
sensitive topic.
Yes, colonialism, right?
Yeah.
Because Japan, that was so sensitive. And that's why some Korean people still have that...
Oof. Yeah.
Not anger, I wouldn't say anymore.
Sadness.
Yeah, sadness around it.
Unresolved issues.
Yeah, so a lot of, when I was really young and I came to Korea, it was still quite all right to openly criticize Japan and Japanese people, you know, and just say they're all bad and stuff. Nowadays, not at all. But back when I was little, in the 80s, my relatives would tell me, oh, you don't want to use any Japanese products or anything like that. And I'd be like, why? And then they'd tell me, and I'd be like, okay, maybe there's some sensitive issues going on here. We're going to be back after a song break. Some NCT 127 Cherry Bomb. We're back for part 3 of the K-Patch segment with Rachel joining us in the studio today. Can you introduce the theme again, Rachel, for any listeners just joining us?
Of course. Today is June 6th when it gets on the air, and it's a Memorial Day in Korea. And me and Alex went to Memorial Hall, Korean Memorial War Museum, and we are introducing the place for you.
Have you been there before? Have you been there many times?
Actually, surprisingly, I've never been.
Seriously?
I thought I have.
Wow.
But as a duty of K-Patch dispatch member, I went to that place and then realized,
for the first time?
I've never been here before.
That's interesting, because you said in the earlier part of today's show that you went to the national cemetery at many times, on a yearly basis, because what was it, your grandfather's brother passed away in the Korean War. So maybe your focus was all on that venue, and you never got to see the war memorial until now.
I thought I celebrate the Memorial Day very properly every year, but never been to the actual war museum so far.
Yeah, and for anyone visiting Korea, because the Korean War is such a big part of our history, we're I think the only divided nation still on the planet, because Germany got back together and stuff like that. It is really useful for you to go and learn about that history if you don't know about it, right? So our third video from Rachel from the museum in Yongsan, what's this going to show us?
It is literally about Korean War and the people who sacrificed their life for the peace.
So sometimes Korean people call this Yu-Gi-Oh, right? The Yu-Gi-Oh 전쟁, which literally means 625. So it was the 25th of June.
That was the date where the invasion started, the commencement of the war.
And that was, if my memory serves right, the North invaded the South kind of suddenly.
Correct.
And took us by surprise, so to speak. Let's play Rachel's third and final clip.
Now we are entering to the Korean War Room. There were a lot of props and equipment that were used in the war.
Something?
Oh,
Dropping
wow.
bombs.
Props
We're
as
looking
well.
at
Yeah.
all the equipment used in war in the.
And seeing these kind of figurines
Yeah.
makes it all the more real,
All
right?
these
Like mannequins and then props, missiles.
It actually shows they're crossing the 38th parallel.
Oh, did you?
Crossing
Yeah.
the parallel that was agreed originally to keep the Koreas separate
We found
after
this hallway.
liberation, right?
And then this hallway is filled with
there are
people's names on the
bunch
wall.
of names.
This is like on one of the wings outside the museum, isn't it?
Exactly.
And it's just name upon name upon name. It's so
And
sad.
now we
are
are
entering the memorial hall.
Here's a piece of drum.
It's a very emotional room.
Sounds like heartbeat to me.
I mean, the acoustics here sound
Yeah.
really interesting as well, like historical for some reason, right?
It makes you feel like, oh, you are feeling something. Even if you
History.
just went there without thinking about anything, just
Yeah.
mindlessly you went there, but you come out with feelings.
Yeah, the ceiling is pretty high where those names are written down. And if you just walk along that kind of corridor way,
Right.
it's really weird. Yeah, it feels so poignant. And my dad used to be in the army. That's how he met my mother, because he was a
Ooh.
UN soldier here
Oh,
in
I
Korea.
see. Wow.
And so whenever he came to Korea, we'd often go to this war museum.
Yeah.
And he used to really appreciate going, and he'd say it was so important to go to the wall, read some of the names, you know, and just feel like that person there, the name that I just read, that's somebody who gave up their life, you know, so we can have what we have today. And, you know, when I was growing up and I was living in the barracks and stuff, I didn't appreciate the army at all.
Yeah.
But then when my dad told me those stories and you see these museums and stuff, it
just
really hit home.
unbelievable.
Yeah, people who go into the like armed forces,
Yeah.
you know, many people criticize you shouldn't go to war, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do
No.
that. Yeah, you shouldn't, but the people who are soldiers, they didn't decide to
Inside
go.
the exhibition halls, we saw a phrase that says, follow my order, go, march, go, go to the north,
Oh,
go,
wow.
go.
So it's not their decision
There,
at all.
it
right?
wasn't.
Of course, they wanted the opposite, right? They
Right.
did not want
I
to
mean,
go to
you
war.
saw from the Statue of Brothers,
Uh-huh.
when you see them, they
Yeah.
were brothers. You guys were family, and then now
Exactly. They have to
pointing
kill
guns
each
at each
other.
other
That's crazy, isn't it?
because of the order.
Yeah,
What?
I
For
feel
what?
like, you know, the people with the power who make these orders,
Mm-hmm.
they should just be put in a place. And if you want to fight, you guys just fight each other.
There were their mannequins in the
Yeah.
exhibition hall, and then
Oh, really?
the guys who made those decisions.
Uh-huh.
Just old guys. When you guys literally made took hundreds of people's lives away.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands, right? I think the tally from the Korean War gets into maybe the millions, doesn't it? If I'm not incorrect in my recollections. Really painful past, but it's really important, especially for kids to go and learn about this as well, the education. And this museum's a wonderful place, totally free to get into. We've got one from Leon now in Singapore of a war monument there known as the Cenotaph.
Hi everyone, I'm
I
Leon from
believe.
Singapore, once again reporting for Daily K. Today I'm going to show you some war memorials and monuments here in Singapore. First, I'll show you the cenotaph. The cenotaph is typically a monument or empty dome erected in honor of a person or a group of people. The cenotaph at Esplanade Park is a war memorial initially erected in commemoration of the soldiers who had sacrificed their lives in World War I.
World
In
War I
1951,
from
an extension
Singapore,
was
really?
added to the structure to commemorate those who sacrificed in World War II.
Wow.
The 5 steps at the base of the structure bear the years from 1914 to 1918, marking the war years of World War I. The extended steps behind
step
bear
for a
the
year
World
of
War
World
II
War
years
I.
from 1939 to 1945. Next, let's have a look at the Civilian War Memorial.
That's
It
really
commemorates
cool.
civilian victims of World War II and the unity of Singapore's 4 main races: Malay, Chinese, Indian, and Eurasian.
Oh,
At
that's
its serving
nice
part, you'll
for
see
each
4 pillars
race.
of similar size and structure,
Wow,
rising tall
ginormous.
above 65 meters, symbolic of the shared suffering of Singapore's main ethnic groups as well as those who died and were buried there. Every year on the 15th of February, a memorial service is held there in remembrance of the victims of the war, as it was the day that Singapore fell to Japanese forces back in 1942. Hope you enjoy watching.
Thank you.
I didn't know about that. In 1942, February 15th, Singapore fell to the Japanese forces as well. So there must have been some occupation of Singapore
Probably.
similar to Korea in some way, right? Back in the day. Goodness. And yeah, in the UK as well, we've got lots of these little war memorials, not as big and impressive as Singapore, just in villages and towns up and down the country, you know, because soldiers were just taken from everywhere. And so they had in every village like a little memorial after World War II and stuff like that. It did get out to Asia as well, because Japan joined the war. And that's why here in Korea we've got so much memorials and monuments, and then Korea kind of a pawn between Russia and the US. Kind of really, really sad history, isn't it? Maybe one day we can be one country again. Fingers crossed, right? Kevin,
one big union.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's all just be one nation in the whole world, right?
Yeah.
All one people.
Hand in hand.
Yeah. Kevin sent us some interesting info, as he usually does, for the flag here in the US, saying the Stars and Stripes, the colloquial name for our nation's flag, came into being in 1777. It was originally 13 horizontal stripes alternating red and white, with 13 white stars in a blue field in the upper left corner, the number symbolizing originally 13 states. Well, there are only 13 states in the first place. I didn't know that. That's quite interesting, isn't it? And you say the 50-star design dates to July 1960, after Hawaii became the 50th state.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's a nice 50th state as well. Paradise destination, right? Thank you for that info, Kevin. And Rachel, a big thank you for filling in for Alex for the past couple of weeks.
Thank you for having me.
Especially on today, like an important day in Korean history, and giving us like your view as well was really interesting. Would you like to say goodbye to the listeners? I'm sure you'll be back again in the future.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, thank
We
you
will
for
invite
having
you.
me.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for having me, and hope to be here with you. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for your fantastic videos, Rachel. You can check them out on our social media, but for more of Rachel Kim, just subscribe to her YouTube channel.
Right.
Lots of interesting content, right?
You can follow me on Rachel Kim on YouTube.
There we go. We are going to play some more music now. This one is Nell, Time Walking on Remembrance, 기억을 걷는 시간.